this is the last time you have to hear from me for a good period of time. So, yeah, don't cry. Yeah, Pat, yeah. So, I'm crying too. So, I wanted to talk about the Six Harmonies, yeah, because I always think about harmony right before I leave on a trip, because one time I was about ready to leave on a trip, and it was before this building, before the Buddha Hall, before Shanti Cabin, before Metta Cabin. And it was just all of us in Ananda Hall. And we needed to broaden the space between where the kitchen was and the big room there. And there was some controversy going on. What was the controversy about? Anybody? About sharing the Dharma Day? And oh yeah, we were going to break down the wall because Jumpel's dad was here with a sledgehammer, and and I got to do the first swing. Yeah. Yeah, sharing the Dharma Day was always, everything was an Ananda. Yeah. So there was some controversy about the food or where we're doing it or what we're doing, the usual thing. And and some discussion, I think, about where to do the cooking while the wall from the kitchen was being moved, on both sides. And so, let's do it downstairs. No, we can still do it here, the usual stuff. And I stopped everybody and I said, if there's people aren't getting along here, then we don't even need to discuss where to do the cooking when the remodel is going on, because none of us are even going to want to live here, because who wants to live in a disharmonious community? It's like, ciao, bye-bye, folks. So harmony is important. Now, that doesn't mean none of us go through crises. Crises, yeah, old hat, we just rotate on our crises, right? Yeah, and which is all very nice to say, unless you're the person who's on that week for the crisis, and then you're miserable, but you pull out of it, and then it's somebody else's turn. Okay, so the Six Harmonies, the Buddha taught in the Vinaya, and it's a beautiful teaching to really remind us how we become a community and what makes us a community, and not just a boarding house of people who wear maroon. Okay. So the Buddha talked about the harmony of body, speech, and mind, and then of views, resources, and what's the last one? And views, resources, and what? Precepts, yeah, yeah. Duh. Okay. So thank you. So, harmony and body, yeah, we do the same things at the same time, yeah. We have a schedule, our bodies are in the same place at the same time, yeah. And we come on time, we're considerate, you don't wear a nylon jacket in the meditation hall and take it off and put it on so that the noise disturbs everybody, like happened one retreat before some of you came. And, yeah, harmony in body. And then harmony in speech, we abandon lying, harsh words, well, sometimes. Um, uh, disharmonious words, yeah, only when we're in a good mood. Idle gossip, well, we're aspiring. um, no, really, to live harmoniously together, we're aware of our speech and considerate with our speech and don't, uh, say things that provoke others or make others afraid or hurt their feelings, things like that. Um, and then harmony in mind, we have the same aspirations. Why are we all here? We have the same motivation. We are here for the same reason. Yeah, we all want to practice the Buddhist teachings. We all have faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We all aspire for full awakening. Okay, so we're harmonious in our mind. Okay, harmonious in our precepts. Yeah, we have the same precepts. There might be some slight varieties in terms of how how tightly people hold some of the minor precepts, but we share the same precepts. We keep the same parajikas, yeah, or we don't do the parajikas, put it that way. We keep the same abandonment of parajikas. We keep the same abandonment of the Sangha Visesas, okay? And the rest of them too. We all do our best. We share those precepts, okay? Views, yes, we all have the Buddhist worldview. Yeah, we see our situation as one of being in samsara. We have some awareness of rebirth, and we care about our future lives. We care about other sentient beings. We want to cultivate love and compassion and joy and equanimity towards everybody. Okay, and we share resources. Yeah, so we can, you know, there's things downstairs that we all share. Toilet paper. Well, we don't share the toilet paper, but the unused toilet paper. Yes, we share, and the toothpaste and everything. We all share those resources. We fundraise, or I should say, invite generosity for the entire community, not for particular individuals. Yeah. And we all contribute in some way to the resources of the Abbey. And so in that way, it diminishes jealousy, it diminishes anger, competition. Those things, yes, they still exist. But when we think about harmony and try and make our mind one that supports harmony and is harmonious, um, then that changes our relationship with everybody here. Yeah, and the community becomes an island in a very confused um, country where a lot of people are like this right now. And so we see that. We just got an email from Sherry this morning. I went out to all of us, and she said just how her connection with the community here, because she's been ill with something that doesn't incurable for a long time. And she says, just knowing the community is here, having access to teachings and Dharma friends, just bolsters her mood and her mind. And she's, really practicing so well, with the physical ailments. And, she's setting a good example for us because we're all going to get old and sick. Yeah, and eventually die. So, yeah, she's just a very good example for us. Yeah. Okay, so and then I wrote a few notes about other things, about what creates disharmony. because even though we don't want to do that, sometimes it happens. Okay, so what creates disharmony? Breaking precepts and not confessing. Okay, breaking precepts, transgression of the minor ones, not the major ones. Um, we confess the major, well, parajikas, there's no remedy, but Sangha Visesas, the lapses with forfeiture, there's remedies to all of these. And so when we confess and we make amends to the community, then everything's settled. There's no grudges or conflict held on to. But when we, and as we always say, the Buddha would not have set up precepts if we could have kept, if we were able to keep them perfectly, because we wouldn't need them. Yeah. So we do our best, and they are training. They train us. We train our own mind. Okay. But the problem is when we don't own it afterwards, when we act in a way, not just transgressing precepts, but when we're inconsiderate of other people, when we start conflicts, when we slam doors or don't show up or whatever it is, then, and we don't confess it, then that creates strange undercurrent feelings, yeah, because everybody knows what's going on anyway. Um, and so when we confess, when we clear it up, when we own things, then it's clear that nobody needs to say anything. Yeah, and I always give the example here of, way back when we were first coming here. Yeah, there was one community meeting, and one person said, I've been in a really bad mood the last few weeks, and a few of you have been the recipient of it, and I apologize. Yeah, so she said that. So then nobody else had to comment on it afterwards. If she hadn't have said that, people would have said, well, the way you said this and the way you treated me and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So it's the not making amends, yeah, that creates disharmony. And, being inconsiderate, of course, sometimes we're all inconsiderate. Nobody's perfect. But again, not apologizing when we're inconsiderate. Okay? Gossip creates disharmony. Yeah. And, did you hear what Karuna did? Yeah. And then Upeka saw what Karuna did, and he copied it. And Karuna, her name means compassion, and his name means equanimity, and neither of them are living up to their name. Did you hear that? What do you think of it? They're clawing at each other, yeah, and hissing. Yeah. Oh dear, what's happening to the harmony of our cats? Yeah. Yeah, so gossip. Yeah. I hope all the people listening online know that our cats are named Karuna, Maitri, Upeka, and Mudita. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes they have their things and we talk about it. Yeah, somebody gave us a toy for the kitties. I put one in Ananda. The next time I came in Ananda, it was nowhere to be seen. I don't know who took it. Yeah. Which one of our 4 kitties batted this squiggly thing under some piece of furniture and didn't tell anybody? Oh, yeah. It was, you saw them do it? No. Yeah, anyway, that squiggly thing, but there's a few more in the package, unless they batted those under pieces of furniture too. Okay, so gossip. Um, okay. And then another thing that creates disharmony is when you have a personal, yes, a personal conflict with somebody. It's okay. What? Okay. So you have a personal conflict with somebody, and instead of settling it with the other person, you're walking around disgruntled, angry, in a bad mood, you know, and then complaining about that person to somebody else. Yeah. And so, you know, it the bad mood and the complaining about a personal difficulty with one other person, it the energy goes into the community, yeah, and it creates a feeling of, you know, like an upset stomach, you know. So those are things, you know, just to watch out for, because I think we all want to live in a harmonious place. Yeah, it's so much nicer, isn't it, when people are kind and considerate and harmonious, and you know. So let's all try and contribute to that.